everyone, welcome back to my channel, Botanical Bexx. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how I repot my plants. Today, I'm going to be repotting 3 different plants. The first one is this Brazil philodendron. This one is just one really long vine, and I don't like the look of that in this pot, so I'm going to be adding some rooted cuttings to the pot to kind of fill it out. The second plant that I'm going to be repotting today is my Pilea peperomoides, also known as the friendship plant. This plant I've had for a while, and I know that it's not in the best soil, so I want to make sure I get it into a well-draining soil before the winter. The last plant that I'm going to be repotting today is the ZZ plant. I actually showed this plant in my last video, Top 5 Beginner Houseplants. This plant, I actually noticed that the roots are starting to poke out of the bottom of the pot, so that's how I know it's definitely time to get this in a pot that's a little bit bigger before the winter. So this is how I repot my houseplants. Let go.
Alright, so I hope you guys can see this, but this is what I meant when I said the roots were starting to poke out of the bottom. First step is going to be to get the plant out of the pot that it's currently in, and this ended up being a little bit harder than I expected for this ZZ plant. Once I finally got this out of the pot, it made a lot of sense why I had such a hard time getting it out, because the roots on it were so root bound, and I'm really glad that I decided to go ahead and repot this one. For step 2, I'm just going to go ahead and gently remove the soil. So these green little balls are actually an extended release fertilizer. I'm just going to go ahead and take those off because I like to use my own fertilizer that's organic. And again, we see these little potato rhizomes. That's where the ZZ plant holds all their water, and that's again why they only need water once a month. So I'm going to go ahead and just keep gently working the soil off the roots. It looks like I did lose a little baby here, but I'm just going to go ahead and actually propagate that. And as you can see here, I lost a couple little baby roots. Nothing that's going to hurt the plant though at all, so don't be scared to try and get as much soil off as possible. For step number 3, we're just going to prepare our soil. You can really use any soil that you have, and if you're going to add anything to it, the one thing that I will add here is a cup of perlite. My ratio is 3 cups of soil to 1 cup of perlite. Now I'm just going to mix together the perlite and the soil, and you can see that now it's a very well draining mix and we're ready to go. For step number 4, we're just going to go ahead and use the new soil that we mixed and repot the plant. I don't know if you guys can see my cat in the background, but she clearly wanted to be noticed, so I'm going to go ahead and put a better picture of her up on the screen. And we're done with plant number 1.
Hey you, if you guys are still watching, please like this video to really help out my channel.
Now we're going to repot my Pilea peperomoides. This one I realized was in a really bad soil. It's super dense, no drainage, and there was a little mesh kind of trap on there so that it was preventing the roots from growing, and I definitely needed to get that off. Alright, so we're going to go ahead with the same process again, and when I was working the soil off these, I had to be a little bit more careful just because the roots are smaller and finer on this plant, but I wanted to get off as much soil as I can because I knew that this needed to be in a well-draining soil because overwatering is the common killer of these. So I always start by putting a little bit of soil in the bottom and then kind of setting the plant in there, seeing if it's at the right height, adding or taking away soil based on that. So this is the method I use when I want to make the plant look a little bit fuller. I will root some cuttings either from the mother plant, a different plant, or cuttings that someone gave me, and just root those and add them back into the pot, and it makes it a lot more full. And for the final step, we're going to go ahead and just give all the plants that we repotted a really good soak of water and make sure that the water comes out of the bottom. Make sure that you dump the water in the drainage tray out so that it's not sitting in water for a long period of time, because that can lead to root rot.
Thank you guys so much for watching my video today. If you want to support me on my journey to create videos about houseplants, please subscribe to my channel. It's the easiest way to support me and it's free. If you guys could also leave your video suggestions down below in the comments, so that way I can really make this channel what you guys need and create content that you're interested in. Also, if you want to follow me on Instagram at Botanical Bexx, I post a lot of pictures of my plants there and also behind the scenes content. That's all I've got for today, guys. Thank you guys again so much for watching this video, and I'm excited to see you next week on Botanical Bexx.